is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. I wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. is a day in the life of a traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gem.
There are many people. Looks like we're back here. Huh? Traveler? Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear. Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? Wait. Who am I? My memories feel like... How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim. I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure. Loved exploring places of peril. No matter where. But now... No! The thought of me. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Perhaps that is so... If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, is that what you call it? It was a state of... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think. Farewell, then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not...
Wake up! Come on, hurry! Nami is outnumbered!
Look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand? Quick, now's our chance! I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not!
Sorry, demoiselle.
Thank you for your...
Sorry,
Whatever.
I doubt I know much. Your performance tonight...
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act. And what?
None of these mecha have... I can only conclude that...
What? Your point?
Yes. Be careful.
I will continue. Regardless. Right. I suppose that's the best news.
Demoiselle, I believe that...
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. For as such.
It will take...
If it were me...
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were...
Well, to be honest,
Huh?
yes. After we parted, that the Fanta tasted kind of... Fanta? Oh,
So the font...
yes.
Spina de Ros...
Huh? Really?
I sent people to Hotel de... That's when I figured out that you...
What?
Well, speaking of which...
Well, it can't be... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it... Does that...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad...
New intel?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate. Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did. And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people...
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite...
You talk too much. Well, we also have some plans.
Don't worry, you two.
It's right up.
I've been keeping watch, demoiselle. I haven't...
Very good.
I shall find room...
Thank you, Maloose. Now,
is your...
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present...
Well, after all, we don't...
Seems like it's
to be...
your father.
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. My father's name is Callus. 3 years ago.
Oh no.
But I do not... At the time. But strangely, that even after being serious... How could he protect his honor? If he... The closest piece of info I have.
Ah, so...
That's right. However, I must know what really... If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the... And now...
Demoiselle.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to...
Wait. If Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people love watching the evil.
But how could... Never mind.
There is one...
Oh. Her? Yeah. That's not...
Miss Clorand has... Oh, she knew Master Callus, but there was...
Don't worry now.
Afterward, Miss Clorand... Yes, that is our...
Oh, all right. Anyway, thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep.
Who? Ah, the firework maker. A manufacturer of fleeting... I admire her humility. It is a sign of true wisdom. With the power she holds, Bua is capable of doing many things beyond our wildest imaginations. And yet, she uses her power only to right wrongs and to protect. She is a truly gentle god.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its
Paimon slept so well. Huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of...
Paimon gets the but...
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait.
Unfortunately, this name seems... I suspect... No. And that is the archives, kept by... If the OC...
So Nervalette, in that case, what...
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. If you're here just to
No.
Oh, yes.
We're here today.
Huh.
Of course.
All right, then. I'll let you through. The Chief.
Thank...
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right, then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later? All right, then I'll wait for you at Poisson.
You play. You... Stay clear.
Silence! Be sanctified. Let the mighty be humble.
Absorption test. Enhanced animal module 75.
Settle down. Be sanctified.
Bow your head. Let the mighty be humble. Settle down. The tides beckon. Justice is blindsided. Bow your head.
There's no need. My father was the one. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused. But now that Paimon has seen this ship...
Well, pues...
Body and mind.
We're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, what if my father's case had something to do with water from the primordial sea? You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened?
Yeah, of course. Many years at a glance.
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink synth, and if you were to stop, as he oversaw.
Bosses uncompromised. Not only that.
Yes, recognizing that. The man's name was Jacques that night, but then. Sounds just like looking back on it, though. I'm precisely. But, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empath. I think this. On that note, however, our opponent, even though there is no need.
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful. Did he think I've never accepted that. I want to find.
Navia.
This is indeed.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. But what drove.
What?
And the serial did 5 years knowing all of. But as long as. If something were to.
Right. So.
As we've seen,
No. I don't believe it. He never.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard. Especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the...
So he chose...
I'm afraid you're not understanding that. If Bosses... I'm sure he'd...
No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make... Yeah. I suppose... But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case... Malus, what was the key?
It's the location when he was threatened. But if you want...
Why? If we...
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against... There's no telling what... But a single... The worst case...
Then...
Well, you saw...
But things...
You sound like you've put a lot of...
I am the butler. I've always been willing to take on any kind of...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced... If the vendors did... After several rounds... The first...
Huh?
Yes, surprise. Thanks to his... There's someone else like him, too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in the beginning...
So...
Yes, it's...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards, since Thierry...
I see. To think that the...
If you want to...
Of course.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving after that incident, if it might help...
Oh, thank you so...
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together.
Who would have imagined that people could really turn into... Here we go again, trying to crack an impossible case. All proof...
It is...
Thank you for...
Excuse me, miss.
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry.
But
Aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
you don't understand.
I didn't know... I know.
I'm sorry. On the matter of...
Would you mind sharing it with me?
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me he had many regrets. So when he tried to be as careful as he could.
They found out...
Papa didn't say that.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only I don't know that for sure. But you could say that's
the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Even if...
But Mama, Papa always wanted to be...
Well,
Yeah.
then you should hold on to that, regardless of whether...
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak...
You really think that's...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance to...
I'm sure you've heard about what...
Yeah, I've heard.
It also... After my partner, can you do me a favor?
After that, my first react... But when I got...
So you all...
Indeed. Reason being, but according to... About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a...
At least from our perspective, the gun he...
Yeah, that... But hold on. He didn't even... Did he lose all...
I'll tell you...
I understand. And if I made many people, but it was Mr. No matter what...
Don't worry. You and... Hey, Thierry! It's... Oh!
Oh, okay.
Are you sure there is...
I mean, Callus did a... It would be next to...
Yes. What happened?
If you want to...
That'd be much...
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, so... if...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it. If you try to removing a... So I can they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Jokes aside, I'll be staying in the...
Add Astro...
Astra. Thank you for completing. Add Astra. Add Astra.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Mars. Sure.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Mar. I just wanted to...
Yes,
Oh!
that's right. I also witnessed to beat the Hydro...
Oh.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is.
Uncle Marcel...
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh.
We were attacked on Aranius by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also, if not for the
Alas. But rest assured, if anyone did...
Thank you, Uncle Mark. Do you have any new thoughts?
The Confrérie, then I heard this...
Oh, it's a...
Sounds good. All my wealth comes...
Time to go. Time to go.
We've talked to all...
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Anyway.
But where should we start?
According to Jacques...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just a theory. Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. and they worked together on a large number of projects. And with funds from... Still really hard for me to imagine. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora... Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the... But... I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us.
Yeah. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Florent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus... But... Spina...
So you're saying...
Exactly. Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh?
Yeah,
Wasn't that place...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you?
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right, because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my partner. Since this is a... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time.
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Linny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard. It's our hope.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Aranias, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malusa's info, the synth product... Let's go and try to find the entrance. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all. Ah, you're right. Navia's
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be—
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him! You've got the wrong man! Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is... Something's not right. Let me think for a little while longer. Something's not right. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. Something... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin. assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 1. Do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just...
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared.
Alternatively...
My second question has to do with the... Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he...
I've thought about this. The dissolving power. My father could have exposed it for, at that time, what was certain.
Boss once told me that...
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duel?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your... On top of that, does a person have to be physically...
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little... But if I were to do you know what the biggest flaw...
I suppose you're gonna tell me...
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances...
I do apologize.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had...
Is there anything else? You can also take a look at my border entry records. Or ask, could those records and testimonies do something to appease...
Seems like she got the wrong... At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb... But aren't you going again? He wished for you to... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into...
This isn't just about me. And it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken from them, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose is it? A man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Shine down!
Rain outlines your fate.
One with nature.
There is no escape!
No, my sword!
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Time to go.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
One with nature.
water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Shine down! Into the wind.
Let's light it up! Rain, outline the fate.
There is no escape! The wind knows me. Shine down! There is no escape! Into the wind.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
One with nature.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Time to go. Time to go.
Illusion shattered. Into the wind.
Everybody stand back!
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds fall. Shine down.
No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate.
Into the wind. There is no escape.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get... Paimon will take notes on this Let's see what's Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act when... I concur. Let's send... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil. What's all the pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box? Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were and all the boxes of things. These names... synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain... Mixing in Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep! What's this over here? Looks like some kind of experiment. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How could someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of these experiments. But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case, Paimon will write it all down. We've looked at almost every... Yeah! We haven't found anything that No wonder even Nervalet went that way. Even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. You take that... Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa! his lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now. So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on, Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd said.
I was...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything! After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you! You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache!
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too... You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. I promise. Vignier. Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vacher is... guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We have Navi! He's heard some... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
A day-hour late, boss?
Yeah. Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established the guilty party has been identified, and thus we now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse guilty.
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette, what's going on?
apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of don't tell me? You thought even I had been blindsided by the oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every act and... of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the oratrice shall... If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him! Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over...
Stop resisting arrest! See—
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please, please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Vignier, it's me! It's me, Vache.
Vache?
I'm here! Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm fighting.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey!
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache? Why did you come? You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheek. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vignere. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am every woman who died by your hand. As our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one. Just as streams of water come. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignere.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vigniere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vigniere's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Vignere! She can't hate me. Let me see her.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you. Vache. Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner.
Even this weather.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey!
Oh. It's just everyone from this time, though.
It's been the...
Oh, but, what?
Huh?
Yeah. I believe this, to be fair, though. She was trying to leave.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, oh, and...
Oh, are you...
It was thanks to...
Oh, that's...
Anyway, now... Oh,
what is...
I should pay a visit, and on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We would...
Sure thing.
And in that case...
Yeah.
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies.
Don't...
Sorry about...
Oh, I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still...
In that case?
In any case...
There was once a time when I didn't want... Oh, which is also why I believed. But Mr. Callus proved me, if not for him, Mr. Callus, and in the end, a justice that's... So, you asked me why I came. I just wanted this regret as that high and mighty chair in the opera epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much.
So...
Sorry about...
Let's not... Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad. Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there.
Oh, it's you two. I see, I see.
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my...
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but... what is it?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's lifeforms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Nev...
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my... Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of—
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across— If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? My apologies. However, for many years, as a divinely— Not only can it— Which is all to say, I was not aware. In any case, based on while we do if we did—
If you ask Pine—
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day—
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. You've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. You know, we've been walking around for a while now. Why
I only wish life could be as leisurely as the— So this is a day in the life of the traveler.
Будь серьезно! Будь серьезно! У меня все это время не записывался голос. Вот я лох по жизни. Я реально лох по жизни. Короче, о чем я толковал? Я читал, короче говоря, весь текст, а вы меня не слышали. Все это время. Серьезно. Ну ладно, чё уж. Лох по жизни, так лох по жизни.